They want Elon Musk gone, X turned off, and freedom of speech stamped out. Starmer himself has said he's going to look at social media laws in the wake of the riots and even revisit the Online Safety Act. And right on cue, of course, the Westminster elite are now circling. Guardian columnists got their knickers in a twist, saying Musk should be on trial in the UK for inciting the riots. And Keir Starmer's champagne socialist biographer, Tom Baldwin, called for regulation of social media platforms, even saying free speech was not absolute.
When the world's most visionary entrepreneur pivots from revolutionizing technology to challenging the status quo of global politics, the world sits up and pays attention. Elon Musk, the driving force behind Tesla's electric car revolution and SpaceX's ambitious quest to colonize Mars, has unexpectedly turned his focus to the political arena, sparking a firestorm of debate in the United Kingdom. But before we move on, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more such political content. Known for his bold, unfiltered opinions and relentless pursuit of innovation, Musk has now set his sights on what he sees as a pivotal moment in British history. His latest move? A dramatic call for a fresh general election and an extraordinary appeal to King Charles III to dissolve Parliament in the wake of what he deems Labour's catastrophic governance. These unprecedented actions have left political analysts, citizens, and world leaders grappling with the implications of his intervention. Why has Musk, a man who has spent his career redefining industries, chosen to wade into the murky waters of UK politics? What has driven this billionaire entrepreneur to challenge a democratically elected government so openly? And perhaps most intriguingly, why are millions of people, both in the UK and beyond, rallying behind his call for change? This is not just another political debate. It's a high-stakes confrontation that touches on some of the most pressing issues of our time. The fragility of democracy, the fight for free speech, and the growing divide between political elites and ordinary citizens. Stay with us as we unpack the details of Musk's explosive entry into British politics and explore why his actions have become a rallying cry for those demanding justice, accountability, and a brighter future for the UK.
Quick yes or no answer. Is Elon Musk right to call Keir Starmer two-tier Keir?
Look, I'm not going to get into nicknames about the Prime Minister.
But is he generally right?
Elon Musk has taken an unprecedented step into the political spotlight as he assumes the role of an advisor to Donald Trump ahead of his return to the US presidency. In a series of fiery posts on his social media platform X, Musk has launched a blistering critique of Prime Minister Keir Starmer and the Labour government, accusing them of destroying the UK through a combination of economic mismanagement, authoritarian policies, and a failure to address the country's mounting crises. Musk's words have reverberated far beyond the digital sphere, capturing global attention and sparking heated debates across the political spectrum. But Musk didn't stop there. He issued an extraordinary demand, calling on Starmer to resign immediately, citing what he describes as the government's inability to govern effectively or uphold democratic principles.
People have been given prison sentences in the UK for social media posts where there was no explicit link to actual violence, but they just said it encouraged violence. I'm like, well, did anyone actually do anything as a result of that media post?
Musk went even further, urging King Charles III to intervene directly by dissolving Parliament to clear the path for fresh elections. His statements, bold and unfiltered, reflected deep dissatisfaction with the current state of British politics and a belief that transformative action is urgently needed. This high-profile condemnation from one of the world's most influential figures has fueled a growing movement of discontent among the British public, amplifying calls for change. Musk's critique isn't just about Starmer's leadership. It's a challenge to the entire Labour government's approach to governance, accountability, and individual freedoms. With millions now rallying behind his calls for reform, Musk has ignited a political firestorm that is reshaping the discourse around Britain's future. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into this dramatic confrontation, which has raised fundamental questions about leadership, democracy, and the balance of power in modern governance. Musk's comments mark an extraordinary moment in political discourse, underscoring the depth of his concern over the current state of the UK. For an outsider, a tech entrepreneur no less, to publicly call on King Charles III to dissolve Parliament is unprecedented and signals just how dire Musk believes the situation has become under the Labour government. Such a move cuts to the heart of Britain's constitutional norms, where the monarchy traditionally remains above the political fray. Yet Musk's bold appeal to the king reflects the mounting frustration and discontent brewing across the country.
Mr. Speaker, if he wants to know what Conservatives would do, he should resign and find out. Mr. Speaker, until then, I'm the one asking the questions. There's a petition out there, 2 million people asking him to go. He's the one who doesn't know. He's the one who doesn't know how things work. It is not government that creates growth, Mr. Speaker.
By taking this extraordinary step, Musk has placed himself at the forefront of a growing wave of dissent, channeling the frustrations of millions who feel unheard and disillusioned by Labour's policies. His comments are not just a critique of Prime Minister Keir Starmer's leadership, but a broader indictment of a system Musk sees as increasingly out of touch with the needs of ordinary citizens. The fact that someone as prominent and influential as Musk has made such a dramatic plea underscores the gravity of the situation. It's a move that highlights both the urgency of reform and the extent to which people, both within and outside the UK, are questioning the Labour government's ability to lead. Musk's intervention may be unconventional, but it is a stark reminder that dissatisfaction with the status quo is no longer confined to political insiders. It's become a global conversation. As debates intensify and public pressure mounts, the question remains: will this unprecedented call to action prompt meaningful change, or will it deepen the divisions within the UK's political landscape? A recent poll has revealed a dramatic collapse in Labour's approval ratings, sending a message through the UK's political landscape. Elon Musk, never one to shy away from controversy, has seized on this moment of vulnerability, amplifying demands for an immediate general election. Musk's intervention has electrified the debate, with his bold statements adding significant momentum to the growing calls for political change. His social media platform X has become the epicenter of this digital uprising, as hashtags like #GeneralElectionNow and #ResignStarmer gain traction across the globe. The conversation is no longer confined to UK borders. It has ignited a worldwide discussion about leadership, accountability, and the future of democratic governance.
Last night, a petition was launched calling for a general election on the basis that Labour have broken promises and done things they never ever said they'd do. Its kind of trust is breaking down. Well, unbelievably, it's already on 750,000 signatures. Even Elon Musk has been talking about it.
The billionaire's outspoken criticism of Prime Minister Keir Starmer and the Labour government has transformed what could have been a quiet period of political dominance into a volatile battleground. For many, Musk's vocal support for a general election has turned him into a champion of the disillusioned, a figure willing to challenge entrenched power structures. As Labour faces mounting public frustration and international scrutiny, Musk's comments have become a lightning rod for a deeper, more widespread reckoning with the state of British politics. Musk's tweets have sparked a powerful and rapidly expanding movement, giving voice to the widespread frustration of citizens across the United Kingdom. People from every corner of the country, whether from bustling cities or quieter rural areas, are expressing their anger and disillusionment over the multitude of issues they feel are being mishandled by the Labour government. One of the most pressing concerns is the escalating cost of living, which has left millions of people struggling with rising energy bills, food prices, and housing costs. This economic hardship has been further compounded by the ongoing public sector strikes, as workers demand better wages and conditions, creating widespread disruption in critical sectors like healthcare and education. Alongside these crises, many are deeply dissatisfied with Labour's policies, which they view as increasingly disconnected from the needs of ordinary citizens. Musk's bold call for Prime Minister Keir Starmer to resign has struck a chord with many, with a growing number of people rallying behind the idea that his leadership has been a failure. They argue that Starmer has not only failed to address these urgent issues but also lost the trust and confidence of the public, making his continued leadership untenable. The mounting dissatisfaction is a clear reflection of a broader sense of frustration with the government's inability to effectively govern and deliver meaningful solutions for the challenges affecting the everyday lives of British citizens. Labour's response to the growing discontent has been one of deliberate silence, a strategy that many critics argue is only exacerbating the public's anger and frustration. Instead of addressing the widespread concerns, the government seems to be avoiding any meaningful dialogue, which many view as a failure of leadership.
Elon Musk or Sir Keir Starmer, it's time now for the head-to-head. An almighty war of words has broken out between Elon Musk and the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, after Musk claimed on Monday that the violent riots sweeping the UK meant that, quote, civil war is inevitable.
Musk, known for his outspoken and confrontational style, didn't hold back. He tweeted forcefully, "When a government destroys its nation, it's the duty of its leader to step aside. Starmer must resign for Britain to rebuild." His words struck a chord with many who believe the current leadership has led the country into crisis. Musk didn't stop there. He reiterated his position, insisting, the King must act to save the UK's democracy and dissolve Parliament. Musk's call for intervention from the monarchy added an unexpected layer to the political debate, highlighting his growing concern that the nation is at a critical crossroads. His demand for action resonates with those who feel that the Labour government is not only failing to address the nation's most pressing issues, but also jeopardizing its democratic principles. This debate isn't confined to Britain. It has been capturing the attention of media outlets around the world. Musk's involvement in the UK political landscape is being framed by many as the actions of a disruptor, a figure who is challenging the established order and calling for drastic change. His statements, which have sparked a global conversation, are being closely followed not just in the UK, but also in countries like the US, where political analysts are closely monitoring the potential implications of Musk's comments.
People in this country do care about what Donald Trump says. They do care about what Elon Musk says, because these are people who have an influence on the world. What they don't care about is what Kay Burley thinks.
If Musk's controversial comments continue, it may put the Labour government in a difficult position, as it navigates its relationship with a key international ally. Musk's intervention is about more than just Labour's governance. It's a call to empower people, uphold free speech, and demand better accountability. His statements have emboldened critics of the Labour government, intensifying demands for immediate political change. What do you think? Should the King dissolve Parliament? Is Elon Musk right to call for Starmer's resignation? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.